Welcome to One Round. I'm your host, Darrell Dawsey. With the Michigan prison system currently spending more than $2 billion a year, many fiscally minded leaders here in the state are looking to our prison system for ways to cut costs. So far, however, most of those measures have consisted pretty much of cutting jobs and slashing badly needed services for an already underserved prison population. Now, one organization believes that it has come up with a way for the prison system to save as much as $500 million a year through a series of reforms. Here to talk about these reforms and the reports behind them is none other than Laura Sager, the Executive Director for CAPS, the Citizens Alliance on Prisons and Public Spending. Laura, welcome.
Thanks for having me on, Darrell.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Now, for those of us who are unfamiliar with CAPS, tell us a little bit about your organization.
Well, the Citizens Alliance on Prisons and Public Spending, or CAPS, is a nonprofit organization that focuses on safely reducing the prisoner population and thus correction spending. We then believe that state legislators should take the millions of dollars in savings and invest them in programs and services proven to prevent crime and make our communities safer.
Now, you guys have come up with a series of reports. You've got a
Yes.
list of reforms that you'd like to enact. I know that one major focal point has been parolable lifers. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, Darrell, we just released 2 reports and a statement signed by 28 corrections professionals calling for changes in the parole review process for parolable lifers, people who were sentenced to life without parole, life with the possibility of parole, CAPS believes that we could save a significant amount of money by reforming the process that has not been cost-effective, accountable, transparent, or objective. Beginning in about 1992, changes in the parole review process for this group of prisoners were enacted in a tough-on-crime moment. They were intended to slam the prison doors shut. And at the same time, they gave the parole board unlimited discretion to deny parole for people who had served years or decades past their first eligible date for release.
It was more about vindictiveness than justice?
Well, it was a tough-on-crime moment. And what happened was that people who had, their judges had intended to see them released after 10, 12, 18 years have now served 25, 30, 35 years in prison.
How much is this costing us to have these folks?
We estimate conservatively that it costs Michigan taxpayers $17 million a year to throw away the key for an aging, ill population. The parole board at this point does not have to provide reasons for denying parole, does not have to interview parolable lifers as it used to every 2 years.
So they can just let them sit there?
They can let them sit
there. Now, are
there.
these low-risk offenders that we're talking about? I mean, you know, a lot of the concern is we let some of these folks back out, especially if they've been convicted for some crime that gives them life. We let them out, and they're going to prey on people when they hit the streets again. Why should that not be as big a concern, perhaps, as we've made it?
Well, it's interesting. The group that makes up parolable lifers have committed serious crimes, but all the research shows that they have the lowest recidivism rate. They've served a very long time in prison, and many of them have done everything they can do to rehabilitate. So they only see the parole board once every 5 years, don't even get a personal interview, and there's no accountability. There's no way to appeal.
Now, I understand some of these folks are even over 55. A good portion of them are over 55, over 60 years old. These are older people we're talking about.
More than half are over 50. Many have served 25, 35, 45 years in prison and are suffering from very serious illnesses. The parole board needs to be held accountable through a series of reforms that we've suggested to the legislature, and which are currently most of those reforms are in House Bill 4809, which has been sponsored by Representative Haveman, a conservative legislator from Holland, who agrees that we are throwing away taxpayers' money when we throw away the key on a group of low-risk, aging prisoners.
Okay. Well, Laura, unfortunately, we're at the end of our show, but I just want to, can you tell our viewers how they can find out about your report, where they can go for this information?
Yes, we really like people who are interested in this issue and other ways that CAPS believes we can reduce public spending on prisons by going to our website at www.capps-mi.org.
Okay, well, thank you very much. This is a very important issue, you guys, and I think that, it's high time we started paying closer attention to it. Anyway, I want to thank Laura Sager for joining us. Appreciate having you here.
Thank you, Darrell.
This is Darrell Dawsey. This is One Round. We're out.